Welcome to the channel, and in this, our first episode of Man Buns and Guns, we're going to be talking about the Palmetto State Armory AK-103. And my kind of first impressions with the rifle after putting some rounds through it, is it any good? If you do a quick Google search, you will find equal parts out there of this is the best US-made AK you can buy, and other people saying this rifle is absolute garbage, don't waste your money, it'll let you down, it's gonna break down on you, it's a turd. What do I think? Let's dig in. Full disclaimer, I have never really been an AK guy. Despite the man bun, I did not see myself as the neck-bearded hipster at the range with the AK, with their reddish wood furniture and strange Romanian dong attachment hanging off the front. I've shot AKs when I was in the military. I did some foreign weapons training. The AKs are of course going to surface as they're kind of ubiquitous out there in the world. But most of my time on weapons has been with the, the M16, M4, AR-15 platform, starting with the M16A2 in the 90s when I joined. And by the time I retired, we were of course on the GWAT era M4s with the ACOGs and all that going on. In my civilian life after the military, I've really been a kind of a AR guy, but I did want to have an AK in the collection. So the story of this one, we were visiting some family down in Myrtle Beach over the holidays, decided to make a little trip into PSA's location there, their big store. I maybe mentioned in passing to the wife, like, yeah, AKs are cool, I'd like to have one of those one day. And wandered off to look at some other stuff. When I returned, I found her in the process of buying this one and saying, Merry Christmas. Little life advice. If you do not have a wife that cares about you enough and is supportive enough of your hobbies to buy you an AK because you said you wanted one, get you a new wife. Also, if the ATF is watching, I purchased an AR for myself that day. In my own name, nothing untoward went on with her buying me an AK because I couldn't get one myself. More importantly, fuck the ATF. Anyhow, this is PSA's premium forged version of the rifle. It runs about $1,000. It's got the triangular classic folding stock. It's got the wood furniture in tree bark. I believe she picked this one because she said, and I quote, it looked cool. And it's definitely a vibe, right? I think the rifle looks good at first glance. I definitely feeling it. But beyond that, what does the $1,000 for the PSA's premium version really get you? I'm going to go ahead and set this down. And I'm going to read straight off from PSA. And I quote, "The American AK market demands an AK that delivers on the classic reputation of the AK for durability while delivering the latest advancements in AK design. The PSA AK-103 clone brings all of that together by boasting a forged carrier, forged bolt, and forged front trunnion, an AK-74 style brake, gas block, and front sight base, while boasting an FN cold hammer forged chrome-lined AK-47 barrel chambered in 7.62 by 39. It also comes with the mount for an optic here. I believe PSA will tell you that the Midwest Industries one will bolt right up. You get the cleaning rod, a 30-round magazine, not this one. This is a PMag that I bought later, but you get PSA's magazine, which I've heard mixed reviews on, and you also get the controversial PSA lifetime warranty. All that sounds pretty good so far. So how did it do? For the purposes of this video, I didn't want to change anything. I wanted to run the gun exactly as it came out of the box. So obviously I didn't add the optic, triggers original. Only thing I did to this, I popped the dust cover off, field stripped it, pulled out the bolt in the carrier, threw some oil in there, worked the action and the safety a couple times to kind of loosen them up, and took it to the range. I did run several different types of ammo through the weapon while I was out there. I ran some cheap steel case Tula. Some Winchester 7.62 by 39 I had laying around for my SKS, and I think I went out and bought a few boxes of Federal American Eagle, just to kind of mix it up and see what it would do. How did it perform at the range? Straight away, pretty reliable, or very reliable actually. I had no malfunctions, no misfeeds, nothing funny going on. No matter what ammo I put through it or which magazine I used, it cycled everything. No problem. I put about 250 rounds through it that day. So I feel like I got a decent little first run at it. I don't see any reliability issues to this point. Other parts on the gun, you've got your standard AR safety. I do like that you can manipulate it with the finger a little bit. It was a little tight at first, and you're going to get the traditional marring on the finish there of your AK, but whatever. I mentioned the stock trigger on the gun, and it's pretty good. It's what I expect out of an AK. It's what I remember an AK trigger feeling like. It's not like a Geissele in your ARs. It's not like even a mil-spec, M4 trigger. It's an AR trigger. That's all I can say. It got the job done. Nothing to complain about. Out of the box, I felt the accuracy was pretty good. I was able to put decent groups with it. Again, not using an optic, so I wanted to use the iron sights to see how they came from the factory, and definitely sufficient. I was able to get a good sight picture, keep that sight picture when going from target to target, and also I kind of enjoyed shooting iron sights. I haven't done that in a while. I've been optics heavy on the other stuff, so it was kind of a good training opportunity, as we used to say, to get some time on the iron sights. No complaints about that. I would probably eventually add an optic to this particular gun, probably get the rail. On my list of things to do to it now that I've shot it, that, however, is not the top of the list, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. When shooting the gun, as far as managing recoil, again, I have some other 7.62s. It's exactly like I felt a 7.62 was going to. Not too bad. You do also, like I said, mentioned, you get the AK-74 style brake here, which should help with some of the muzzle rise and the felt recoil through the weapon. But this is my little niggle with the gun, is whatever this helps, it's completely negated by the triangular folding stock. Yes, it looks cool. It fits the vibe. I like that it folds and actually locks into place. Unlike a lot of them, when you replace it, that's not going to happen. But it's metal, it's thin, and other than the aforementioned stuff, it's pretty crappy, to be honest. Another issue I had with the particular stock is I am 6'5", so with this stock, the length of pull is incredibly short. And you can probably see in some of the videos of I was shooting it, I felt like I really had to hunch over and get on top of the weapon to get that good sight picture. So, long story short, first thing I'm planning on replacing is going to be the stock. If anybody out there, you got any recommendations on replacements for a folder on the AKs, I'd love to hear them. Just go ahead and throw it in the comments below. I know some guys like to run the Zenitcos, but I've heard, that's hard to get right now. You're not really importing them. I've heard some mixed review on the Magpul stuff out there for it. So yeah, let me know what you think. All in all, though, I did enjoy my time on the range with it. It was fun to shoot, and I think if you're shooting and not having fun, you're doing it wrong. How do I feel about the rifle overall after putting those first rounds through it? Is it worth the $1,000? At this point, I would say, yeah. I mean, if you have the money, I want to see how it holds up in the long term. If you don't want to throw down the $1,000 for the premium version, PSA also has another version. I believe it's called the GF3s. They're like $500, I think. So if you want to come in at a lower price point and get those, I believe you can. You can upgrade them later. I just don't think you get some of the chrome barrel or some of the forged parts. But I do want to revisit this rifle. Like I said, I've only put about 250 rounds through it just to see how it did. And I know there's been a lot of talk around the PSAs, and you're going to get some unusual wear on the bolt. The rivets are garbage. They're not dimpled. You're going to break the bolt. I don't know. I've seen other channels out there where guys are running them 5, 8,000. Some are claiming 13 and 15,000 rounds on their PSA AKs. So I'm going to put some rounds through it. I'm going to follow up, and hopefully we'll revisit it at sometime in the future. For now, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any comments on the video or just on the PSA AKs in general, go ahead and put them down below. And maybe while you're here, give me a like and subscribe, because this is our first video. It'd help us with the channel a lot. We have a lot of good videos planned for the next year. And beyond just this, we have some other cool shit planned. And I'd like you to stick around and check it out. So until then, I'll see you in the next one.